This is Damien Bacon, my first video on this channel. This channel will obviously be about witchcraft, magic, how I practice it, not exactly the only way to practice it, as I will go over in future videos. But this is going to be a video about the basics and how to see through my eyes on this particular point of view of the topic of magic and witchcraft, paganism, and the structure of existence as I see it. So, in this video, I will begin with a thought experiment. So, if you've ever used editing or software that allows you to structuralize data of information, basic information like the distance of two places, when you want to understand magic, you think of it like this, like the force, like it's basically the thought process behind string theory, which is that everything is held together by a string-like apparatus of energy flowing. Well, basically it's like water in an ocean where there's currents that flow through it that behave a lot like a above the ground river or even a undersea sea, you know, multiple density layers. But anyways, the whole idea of string theory can basically be summarized as the bonding of atoms because of electron movement. Electrons can bounce from one place to another, from one atom to another, a transferal. And that's basically string theory. And if you take a picture of a scene, like a tree, well, that tree is made up of millions and trillions of cells, and those cells are made up of a buildup of chemicals that build up chemical compounds that build up the chemical makeup or the atomic identity or atomic measurements of mass related to density, and you could take that into a 3D viewer or software like Blender, so you could see how the atoms interact with each other, and to see that basically we live in a bubble, and inside the bubble is filled with dots, or spherical dots, and it's basically like a gas bubble. That pretty much sums it up. There's several movies that actually make a reference to a lot of this thinking, such as The Sorcerer's Apprentice, The Last Witch Hunter, there's many movies to go over that have actual basis in reality. Because my theory is that magic is misunderstood science, while science is understood magic. So, to continue, basically what this means is that magic is like the Force in such a way that string theory and general relativity allow for there to be infinite dimensions and realities. And I'm using those words very liberally because in reality, reality is someone's point of view, their perception, what they think is real. And dimensions are physical, differential space and time type of situation. But there's so basically, like how cells have basically small holes that go throughout the entire structure for water to take the effect of osmosis. In the same way, a wormhole is the hole in the cell. And the cell is the basically the same structure of the Einstein-Rosen bridges in correspondence to the planes of dimensions and universes, possibly. I theorize that white holes are one end of an Einstein-Rosen bridge connected to another end, the black hole. And depending on the situation, you could go in one way and you try to go back the same way and it won't work. You'll wind up even a completely different place than the first two places. Anyways, all this has to do with your life because that way you can understand there is a balance to everything. There is a duality to everything, but there's also multiplicity. There is a massive amount of the telephone game where information gets diluted, and which happens to ironically coincide with the whole thermodynamic effect that happens with materials. Like, it degrades after time, so does information. It's just a weird coincidence. But anyways, basically what this means is crystals such as quartz can produce massive amounts of energy due to heat or pressure, and it causes electricity, which affects your human body, which your blood pumps through your veins on an average of 100 miles per hour with 10 milligrams per blood cell. No, 10 milligrams throughout your entire blood. Your circulatory system contains 10 milligrams of iron on average. For an average human being, 10 milligrams of iron. 100 miles per hour, which puts out electromagnetic pulsing just like the Earth, which is your aura. In basicality, we're biological computers. Robotic computers with sentience. And herbs and different crystals, according to the color, the time, the season of the year, the era, or the year, or the decade, depending on things like that, and what's alive, what was alive, affects our everyday life. And basically, you're allowing things to have a reason in your life. You learn from your mistakes, you move on, and you grow from it. You experience nature, you experience life to grow as a person. That's the whole purpose of life, is to live, literally. That was the answer. The whole reason why we're even alive is to live. And it's all because of magic. According to scripture, God is magical himself because he spoke a spell that created the earth and the heavens. So even Christians can't stop me on that one. So, in conclusion, magic is real. And not all magic is bad. And most of it's actually pretty positive. And the more you research, the more you find out that it's okay to be different. That God will love you no matter what you do, because even if you don't believe in him, he's a loving God. I mean, why did he send his only begotten son to save the world if he didn't love the world? So, I mean, I'm a Norse pagan, but I can't argue with really anyone. I'm not expert. I'm not a holy man. I'm not really anybody. I'm just letting you know. This is how I think. I will also, in the description, put a link to the apps and resources I can share with you. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. And thank you for watching.